Welcome back to HU16's Live at 5. Jackson Duncan here with Logan Light, the Director of Campus Life at Harding. Logan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, tonight we have the Josie Dunn concert here on campus. Can you give us a quick look at just what all's involved in the making of that concert, making it happen?
Yeah, so Josie was here last year. She opened it for Ben Rector and got a really great response from the students. She's really, really fun, lots of energy from stage. And so students wanted her to come back. So that night, actually, when she was here, I was talking to her manager and said, we'd love to have you guys back. They hear that all the time. So since then, though, I've been working with them, trying to figure out when she was going to do touring dates. She has some new music coming out. And so this summer, they got some dates together and they called and we set it up. So
awesome. And talk about some of the past artists that have come through and just how that impacts the students at Harding and what that's like.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to throw concerts like that. We do lots of little things, but of course the concerts are always the big things that stick out. It's what everybody wants to know about. The first concert I ever did in 2012 was with Need to Breathe, and oddly enough, his opener was a guy called Ben Rector. And again, after that show, Stu was like, oh, that opener, he was really great, we should bring him back. And then 4 years in a row, he was here on campus. So I thought that was fun that Josie was the one opening for Ben last year in the spring, and now she's coming back to campus as well. But that was a really fun show. Pentatonics was a really, really fun show. Really enjoyed that one. I loved Tori Kelly a lot. We did some really fun things with several different smaller artists that we bring, and we did some recordings in our office early on that were a lot of fun. Sarah Bareilles serenaded me on the way back to Little Rock when I was driving her in her band. That was a really fun time. So
that's awesome. And I know you may not be allowed to answer this, but is it pretty expensive bringing these people around, and how does that money come from Harding or student paying to get in? Or?
Yeah, it's a part of my annual budget to try to divvy that up against all of our different activities that we're doing. That includes the movies that we offer, concerts, our one-off events, like the Anti-Stress Christmas Fest that's coming up in December. But yeah, they're pretty expensive. We generally try to find people who are up and coming for that reason, because we can't afford to go very large. Students are often surprised. They come into the office and they'll say, hey, we want to bring that. Do you have any idea how much they cost? No, and it's $150,000, which we can't afford. We don't get anybody near that. No, we usually try to stay on the lower end of that, somewhere 20 to 30, and we try to make as much back as we can on ticket sales.
Awesome. And talk about like lighting and staging. Is that Harding team putting that together, or how does that work?
Yeah, depending on the venue and the size of the show itself, what the production writer looks like will depend on if we're able to do that in-house. I love to do that in-house because we have a lot of students who work on that. It gives them some real experience, which is really neat. And for this show, for Josie tonight, we have Crown Entertainment, which is a local entertainment company based out of Cabot. He's coming in and he knows lots of students on campus. They're going to come in and help with that. When we do the bigger shows in the Benson, it's kind of retrofitted for our productions. I think it was built more as a venue for speaking. And so there's a lot more complicated things. And so there's a bigger company out of Little Rock, Sound Services, and they do lots of shows like in Robinson Hall and stuff like that. And they come in and we fly a whole lift up, and it's a whole production to do. But it's really neat to see all of that come together in a place that you used to just see, a podium and 5 chairs for chapel. So
yeah, that's awesome. And then talk about the opener who was with us earlier this week on HU16, Austin Varner. Talk about how it is trying to find an opener and how that works.
Yeah, well, we had an opener for Josie actually, and then he had some contractual things. He ended up having to change his stage name. It didn't fly very well with the UK audience, oddly enough, and so he got cut from the show. So we were looking for kind of a last minute thing. Austin works for me in cab, and I've known Austin since he was 10. I was in the office when he was learning guitar, and so I'm a big fan of him. And so just said, hey, do you think about doing this? And he checked with his friends. Apparently he has at least 4 of them who could be in a band with him, and he said, yeah, he'd love to do it. So we tried to do things locally for openers when we get the opportunity. A lot of times we get options. For Ben Rector last year, I got the option between Josie and there was another band that was more rock heavy. I thought Josie was a better fit for the students. So
awesome. And then talk about the logistical side of where it's going to be, how much it will cost, and how to get there.
Yeah, we're hosting it in the administration auditorium. Tickets will be available at the door as long as they're available. $5 general admission seating. So come early, doors open at 7.
Awesome. I'm excited. I plan on coming. I've heard a lot of other people saying Austin Varner has a good presence on campus along with Josie
does.
Dunn opening last year. Logan, thanks for joining us.